Hello everyone, it's been a while, but I am back with a brand new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the WWE Legend Series 18 Hulk Hogan. It has been, I think 2 weeks, I believe, since the video, if not a little over 2 weeks, maybe closer to 3. And there's just been a lot going on. I just celebrated my 40th birthday, so thank you to everyone who wished, for the well wishes the other day. I posted on the community page, just to at least give you all a life update to let you know I was still, everything was still well. But had a good birthday last week. Just spent it celebrating with family, and then my alma mater, my college alma mater's homecoming was on Saturday, so just got to see a lot of friends and people I ain't seen in a few years from school, so that was always nice. And just again, just blessed and thankful to be alive. That's the best thing I can say. But life has been pretty good, been moving in a ton of directions with just work and everything else, but definitely wanted to at least get a video out this week. I'm actually a little more, I'm more dressed up than you're used to seeing, because I am on the way to work in a little bit, so I figure I had some time to come out here and do a video this morning. And gonna continue with the Hulk Hogan's. I think we are rounding out. I think we're close to wrapping up. I want to say it is 2 more Hogan figures, I believe, to get through in my collection. So this is the Series 18 Hulk Hogan from his WCW days, and this is the attire. Now, if we read the back of the box, it says, "Well, let me tell you something, brother. Every Hulkamaniac knew that Hulk Hogan was the biggest icon, biggest force in WWE. So it sent shockwaves around the world when, in 1994, Hulkster debuted in WCW and challenged Ric Flair for the WCW Heavyweight Championship. Soon, Hulkamania was running wild all over WCW." And if I'm correct, matter of fact, I know it is. This is actually the outfit that Hulk Hogan wore during his WCW contract signing, when they had the ticker tape parade, and would have been, I think, the summer of 1994. This is the outfit, which is very similar to the outfit that he wore during the legendary match at the Bash at the Beach 2 years later, when he formed the NWO with Hall and Nash. I think the only difference is that shirt was a solid color shirt. But yeah, so this is Hulk Hogan from his early WCW days. And you take a look at the other figures in this series. You got Fatu, we got an old school, well, Paulie Dangerously, Paul Heyman, Samu, and of course Hogan. And it was interesting the other day, in a group chat on Facebook, one of my boys, he had mentioned who would be on a Mount Rush. And in fact, I think it's an image circulating on social media. It's basically, it's a Mount Rushmore, WCW Mount Rushmore, that only has Sting and Ric Flair. And then the question is who would be the other 2 heads on the list. And that was a very good question. And I responded to the chat, and I think he responded Goldberg, which definitely I would agree with. And then the other person, which my response was, I have a 4th person. He may not be the most popular, but I think he would be deserving to be on any Mount Rushmore of WCW, and that would be Hulk Hogan. And I say the popular not because of what's, since his past everything over the last few years. I'm just talking about from his WCW legacy in terms of the politics and, the finger poke of doom, not putting people over, the Bash at the Beach 2000, things of that nature. But yeah, I would say Hulk Hogan should be on that list, because Hulk Hogan was the catalyst to that WCW boom period. Once he came to WCW, whether you like it or not, pay-per-view buy rate started going up. The NWO in '96, that was a game changer, and none of that happens without Hogan. And I was reading an article a few months ago and found out Hulk Hogan had the longest combined runs as WCW champion of any wrestler in the promotion's history. And this is not counting NWA. This is when WCW formed the organization in 1988, once Turner took over. So Hogan holds a record for having the longest combined world title reigns of any wrestler in WCW history, more so than Sting, more so than Ric Flair. So with his influence with the NWO and just being who he is, one of the biggest stars of all time, that may make him a strong 4th pick for that head on the WCW Mount Rushmore. But anyway, going to this figure, love the figure. I just like this era of Hulk because he was, still in his prime or close to it, but I just really just like this outfit. I mean, just I like the the tie-dyed on the front, the yellow and red, and then got the Hulkster logo, WCW. Love that, those WCW letters. The bandana. I mean, this is a really solid figure. Like, and I don't have any in this style with this style of Hogan attire. I like the cowboy boots. I mean, very good attention to detail all over this thing. So this is just a really nice figure, and even the little wristband right there with a WCW logo. So, and again, when Hogan, then you have a weight belt in here, so that's always a cool feature. And I mean, and when you talk about, just kind of get real, when you talk about a seismic shift in the wrestling business, I mean, Hogan going to WCW was it. Maybe the only modern comparison you can make it with, and it's still very stretchy, I think, it would be, I mean, of a wrestler going to another promotion and that promotion catching fire almost immediately. And I know I may get roasted for this, and I don't think it's accurate, but CM Punk is coming to my mind, just him going to AEW, in 2021. But there has to be some better comparisons than that, I think, across the board in just wrestling, period, even Japan, but I can't think at the moment. But when Hogan went to WCW, that was a game changer. I mean, Hogan was the man in wrestling in the, throughout the 80s and early 90s, and that was a huge coup to have, the biggest star in WWE history that they had ever created go over to WCW. And as I mentioned a little earlier in the video, it almost immediately started the pendulum swinging in the other direction. Things were still pretty, I mean, both pretty competitive in things, but I mean, Hulk Hogan, the pay-per-view buy rates immediately spiked when he came over. And then, with Hulk Hogan, I mean, you got Nitro, and not that Hogan was the impetus for Nitro, that was more so, Eric Bischoff and Ted Turner, but I mean, Hulk Hogan, you cannot understate Hulk Hogan's, impact on WCW for good and bad in the late 90s, the mid 90s, really from 94 through 2000. And again, there were a lot of ups, there were a lot of downs, but Hulk Hogan definitely coming to WCW in 1994, that was when, it was really on at that point. We were very close to we were just on the precipice of the Monday Night Wars, and which would come a year later. But Hulk Hogan definitely a game changer when he signed to WCW in '94. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a great rest of the day. If you are at work, hope you have a great day at work, a great day in school. Just do whatever you do, just do it to the best of your ability. Be blessed. And I am going to maybe get me a cup of coffee and get ready to head on to the workplace. So hopefully I'm going to have a great day. So again, just thank you all for watching this. I definitely appreciate it. Again, just thank you for all the B-Day love, from the people if you commented, I definitely appreciate that. And just thank you for all the support. As I always say, you could be watching 100 million other videos on YouTube, but you're taking out the time to watch mine, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you, and I will talk to you again after a while. Peace.